to the district this year? A couple of you are brave enough to raise your hands, so thank you very much. Traditions like this one are something that tie the present to the past and will tie the present to the future. You can know that far into the future, they're still going to be gathering in this auditorium to honor the seniors in this way. That's why I love traditions. Traditions also help somebody brand new like me understand the fabric of what you are and who you will be. And I'm so impressed with our Proctor students and our Proctor traditions. One that I think is brand new this year, but it's where the football team sings with the student body after a game. Win or lose, that's a tradition that needs to stay. So I want to thank you for this opportunity to address you this morning. I'm very proud of our students, and I can't wait to see all of you up here. Thank you very much.
Mr. Keevan, how are we doing?
I think we're ready to go. We're finally recording and getting ready to go put this on Rails TV.
Yeah, so Mr. Keevan, Rails TV, live streaming right now.
Recording. We're live in Memorex, for those of you who are old enough to remember that.
Tape delayed. Yes. Mr. C, where are you? Stand up. Doesn't he look sharp today? Dress your best day? Woo.
Hey, Tim.
I know you have a Hard Rock t-shirt underneath all that somewhere.
Hey, Tim, I don't know. I think he's trying to take your job.
Well, hey, I'll give it to him. No, I love my job. All right, here we go. Mr. Keevan and I are going to be emceeing here today, and we're going to get started with Coach Amy Masterson to introduce her soccer players.
Hello, welcome everybody. We're going to start off right off the bat with senior Megan Bonfit. How many years have you participated in your sport? I have been involved in soccer for 1 year. What will you miss the most about participating in this sport activity? I will miss cheering on the sideline with the other managers and Grace. What advice would you give underclassmen who are in this sport activity? My advice would be to enjoy the time you have left with your teammates. It goes by fast. Who is the most influential person for you during this sport activity? The most influential person is Grace Abbott. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself fresh out of college and starting my dream job of sports management. Megan brings a lot of energy to practices and games, help whatever is needed, and I have appreciated all of your help this year. Thank you very much. Our next player, Brooklyn Birch. How many years have you participated? I have been involved with soccer for 10 years. What will you miss the most about participating in the sport activity? I will miss my girls the most. They have always been a big part of my life and I love being around them. What advice would you give the underclassmen who are in the sport activity? My advice would be to always keep your head up. It will get hard at times, but you will make it through. Who is the most influential person for you during the sport activity? The most influential person is my mom. She was always at games cheering me on. I love and miss you, Mom. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself in 5 years serving in the U.S. Army. Brooke is the spirit of our team. She is our goalkeeper. She is encouraging, hardworking, and motivating. She has unfortunately had a foot injury in the beginning of the season that has limited her playing time, but she is going out as soon as she can and working hard to get through that and get back on the field. We will miss you very much as a keeper with your spirit and appreciated everything that you've done. Next up is Petra Cook. How many years have you participated in your sport activity? I have been involved in soccer for 10 years. What will you miss the most about participating in this sport? I will miss bonding with the girls and playing under the lights. What advice would you give underclassmen who are in this sport activity? My advice would be to not get down on yourself. If a game or practice doesn't go well, just go back out stronger. Who is the most influential person for you during this sport activity? The most influential person is former coach Ben Ellefson. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself finishing college and being an athletic trainer. Petra is a wall on defense. She's been at a stopper and sweeper position for us this year. She is encouraging to all the younger players that aren't quite sure how to be on defense. She is always encouraging and coaching and helping to do whatever she can. Unfortunately with her, we have a minor knee injury right now. Hopefully we get to see her back on the field soon. She is a very strong player and helps us with all of our victories. We will miss you very much and appreciate everything that you've done for us, Petra. Next up is Ellie Folkstead. How many years have you participated in your sport? I have been involved in soccer for 10 years. What will you miss the most about participating in this sport activity? I will miss all the younger girls and being a part of a team who turned into family. What advice would you give underclassmen who are in this sport? My advice is don't doubt yourself. You got this. Who is the most influential person for you during this sport? The most influential person are my family and friends. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself finishing college and starting a career in social work. Ellie has been one of our managers this year. She brings positive energy, smiles, and completes all the tasks that I have ever asked her to do without even a hesitation. I have appreciated everything that you've done for me, and I look forward to the last few weeks working with you on the field. Thank you, Ellie. Next up is Abigail Hansen. How many years have you participated in your sport? I've been involved in soccer for 8 years. What will you miss the most about participating in the sport? I will miss making friendships with the younger classmen and game days under the lights. What advice would you give the underclassmen who are in this sport activity? My advice is to be kind to everyone, enjoy every game day. It goes by fast. Who is the most influential person for you during this sport activity? The most influential person is Ben Ellefson, former assistant coach. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself finishing college and doing something in the criminal field. Abby is an outside mid. She is an energizer bunny on the field. She never stops moving and is great at distributing the ball forward. She shoots well from the outside and has put many opportunities on the net. We will miss your energy and all your hard work. You come with a smile every day and work very hard. Thank you for everything, Abby. Next up is Sophie Perendo. How many years have you participated in your sport? I have been involved in soccer for 13 years. What will you miss the most about participating in this sport? I will miss hanging out with the girls and the bus rides. What advice would you give underclassmen who are in this sport? My advice is to have an open mind, get out of your comfort zone, and remember to always have fun. Who is the most influential person for you during this sport? The most influential person is my sister, Sam Perendo. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself being a pilot and flying around the world. Sophie has changed positions this year. Usually she's on the left-hand side with her natural left foot. I have moved her to center mid this year, so she has been doing a great job shooting and distributing the ball to forwards. She surprises the other opponents with the left-sided foot because not very many girls have a natural left, so we use that as a weapon. She is very talented, and we are going to miss all your strength going forward, and we appreciate everything that you've done for us on the field. Thank you, Sophie. Next up is Lillian Rich. How many years have you participated in your sport? This is my first year in soccer. What will you miss the most about participating in this sport? I will miss the bus rides and the girls. What advice would you give underclassmen who are in this sport activity? My advice would be to try your hardest, put in effort, and hard work works. Who is the most influential person for you during this sport activity? The most influential people are the coaches. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself hopefully graduating college. Lily was another manager for us, and once again has always brought positive energy at all the practices and the games. Always willing to complete everything that I've asked her to do, and brings a smile to every day that she shows up on the field. I'm going to miss your energy and all your positivity, and I thank you very much for everything you've done. Thank you, Lily. Next up is Madison Twaddle. How many years have you participated in your sport? I have been involved in soccer for 10 years. What will you miss the most about participating in this sport? I will miss the rides on the bus to games and getting to know the different things about my teammates. What advice would you give underclassmen who are in this sport? My advice is to have fun and celebrate the little victories you accomplish. Who is the most influential person for you during this sport? The most influential person during this was my old coach, Ben. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself doing something in the chemistry field. Thank you, Coach Masterson. Oh, sorry, that's not mine. She's been an outside mid for us. She is always, even as a senior, coming off the field asking what she can do to improve, and that shows a lot about her character. She's a strong physical mid. Anytime that another opponent comes up against her, they realize just how strong she is, because she usually leaves one of them on the ground. But she is always willing to keep working, keep moving, and keep improving, and I appreciate all your positivity, Madison. Thank you. And I just wanted to mention one more that is not here today. I believe she is out sick, is Ivy Henderson. She is a first year on soccer. She's playing on her JV. She started the season off with a concussion, so she missed a lot of playing time and unfortunately now is sick. She is showing up as much as her body is able to, and she is playing a center or midfield at the JV level, and I appreciate everything that you've done. So even though she's not here, I'd like to appreciate what she's done. And as our team, our record doesn't show just how talented these seniors in our team has been this year. We are looking forward to playoffs. As our record shows, we have only lost games by 1 to 2 goals. We are improving every single time. We are playing with the great teams like East and Cloquet, just losing 0 to 2. So that is showing great improvement. And I look forward to our last couple games. Our final senior night is tomorrow. We play Denfeld. JV is at 5 o'clock, varsity is at 7. We're at Ickerdall Field. We'll celebrate the seniors one more time in between the games. And then our final regular season game is already next Tuesday at Hermantown. And then we start our playoffs on October 10th. So we are looking forward to finishing the season strong and coming out even stronger in what I call the second season, which is playoffs. So thank you once again, seniors, for everything that you've done. And we look forward to finishing off this season together. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Masterson. Hey, Mr. Keefe.
Yes?
Are you cold?
Not in this room.
Well, if you are, go to one of the corners, because it's always 90 degrees.
Oh, jeez. Jeez.
Hey, Mr. Smith, stand up here, will you? Mr. Smith, you used to coach soccer, right?
Yeah, I did.
Were you good at coaching soccer?
I don't know, we went to state one year.
Woo! You played football, though, in high school, right?
I did, yeah.
They call soccer football, you know that?
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, it depends what country you live in.
Yes. Hey, you're also a science teacher. Did you hear that NASA's going to try to put another person on the moon?
I did, yeah.
And when they do that, they're going to throw a party. You know how NASA organizes and plans events?
No.
They plan it.
Okay, I've had some students ask me to ask you to please stop. Enough is enough.
I got lots more. Lots more.
They said enough is enough. We need to move on with the program.
Well, I think we got boys soccer next, right? Coach Wood, is that correct?
That is correct.
Coach Anthony Wood, everyone.
All right. First up is Frankie Amendola. How many years have you participated in the sport or activity? I've been involved in soccer for over 10 years. What I will miss most about participating in this sport is the bus rides with the boys. What advice would you give to the underclassmen who are in this sport or activity? My advice is don't take it for granted and give 100% every day. Who is the most influential person for you during this sport or activity? The most influential person is Coach Wood. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself working in the trades. And that is Frank Amendola. I know this is going to sound bad, but I am thankful we made it past day 2 with Frankie. I'll explain later. All right, next up is Brett Barlim. How many years have you participated in your sport or activity? I have been involved with soccer for 12 years. What you will miss most is the rides with the boys and just being with them. What advice would you give underclassmen? My advice is to have fun and don't test Andy Morin. Who is the most, and that's a joke because if anybody knows Andy, Andy is our fitness coach, which It's kind of just it's a team joke, so. Who is the most influential person for you during this sport or activity? My most influential person is Coach Wood. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself being a heavy equipment operator. Brett Barlim. Next up is Vincent Horngren. Vincent Horngren has been involved in soccer for 11 years. He's going to miss the most is getting together with the boys and starting soccer games. His advice to underclassmen is communicate until you're annoyed with people, give 100% and don't give up. The most influential person to him is Coach Wood. What do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years? I see myself finishing college and having a good job. And that is Vinny. Next up is Wes Lindstrom. He has been involved in the sport for 11 years. What he's going to miss most is the feeling before kickoff, playing under the lights, and most importantly, the boys I grew up with playing. My advice to the underclassmen, be obsessed and communicate. His most influential person is also Coach Wood. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself working at Duluth Concrete. And that is Wes Lindstrom. Next up is Braden Mealy. He has been involved with soccer for 13 years. What he's going to miss the most is the bus rides to away games and asking Andy for demonstrations in our conditioning drills. That's funny. What advice would you give underclassmen who are in the sport or activity? My advice is to play every season like it's your last. You're playing and don't have red hair. Yikes. Who is the most influential person for you during the sport or activity? His most influential person is his brother Nolan. What do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years? I see myself working as a field researcher for environmental science, and that is Braden. Next up is Josh Monreal. He has been involved in soccer for 3 years. What he's going to miss most is the people, and specifically my conditioning coach. What advice would you give underclassmen who are in this sport or activity? My advice would be respect the coaches and the upperclassmen, and you will want the same for underclassmen when you are a senior. The most influential person to him is Coach Wood. And what do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself as a graduate, myself in graduate school at St. Scholastica pursuing physical therapy degree. And that is Josh. Next up is Colin Warner. He has been involved for 12 years. What he will miss most about the sport or activity is the bus rides and team dinners. His advice to the underclassmen is always put in 100% effort and work toward your goal to set yourself up. Most influential person in sport or activity is his father. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself at Duluth Concrete. I want to say that they all put Coach Wood just because my blood pressure was up yesterday, but I know they filled that out before yesterday. I'm not even sure offhand what our record is. We beat Hibbing yesterday. At the end of the day, all we talk about is winning our section games and setting up for playoffs. And I think we are set in a good spot. We'll be either the 3 or 4 seed, depending how next week goes. And then hopefully we can make a run to the section final and then see where it goes from there. But at the end of the day, it's another great group. I've been very fortunate over my years here to have groups of seniors that do everything right on and off the field that I'm aware of. The cool thing is Frankie Amendola, he came out 2 years and quit after the second day, but he's still here. this year, and I couldn't be more thankful to have him. Brett Barlim has battled some injuries. He's scored some goals. The nice thing is hopefully that scar will continue to heal, but that's a memory, worst case. Brett, step forward so I can see. Horngren. Vinny, one of the best kids you'll have. Again, I think there's every year if I had a daughter, I would pick someone that I would probably let them marry my daughter, and that would be Vinny. Just a good kid all around. Vinny, who's next to you? I can't see that far. Oh, Wes. Wes and Colin. You two, I had Colin and Gitch when he was super young, and these two are inseparable. I mean, you just can't make them up. They attend everything. Anytime we have fundraisers or anything in the summer, they're always there, and I'm thankful for both of them for being as committed as they are. I think Braden's next. Braden always makes the red hair joke. Again, I had his kid, or his brother, 7 years ago now, and now Braden. Without his mom, with fundraising and everything else, I'd be lost. So I thank his family for everything they've done for this program. Is there anyone else next to you, Braden? No. All right. Josh, I was talking about Josh going to football, so I'm thankful he is here again this year. He'll shake his head, but I hear the rumors. But again, this is the second year in a row we didn't pick captains because at the end of the day, this group of seniors is our captain, and we will go as far as they will take us. So it's a little different, but I love all these boys, and I thank them for everything they do for this program because they make it enjoyable to show up in the fall. So thank you guys. Love you.
Thank you, Coach Wood, Braden, Mealy. I'm right here, to your left. Hey, there you are. That selfie you just took, make sure Miss Voss gets it for the yearbook, and send me a copy too for my newsletter. That'd be awesome. Hey, most guys went with the bro hug. That's a good pick. Good choice. I like it. All right, let's see. I need a student to stand up real quick. Come on. Anybody? Hey, all right. I love it. Okay, did you watch the Real Strong Ramblings yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, so we have something going on tonight. What is that?
The bonfire.
Okay, bonfire, good job. And what time?
Sept.
Until? 9 sharp. We're putting the fire out at 9. It's a big pile. Have you been down there? It's a huge pile of brush.
I think it's a little too close to the Hilla building for my taste, but yeah, big pile.
And I don't know if there's tires and mattresses under there. I'm not sure. But in either case, it'll be great. But I have a sticker for you for answering these questions, so pass that down to him. Yes. Fire up, Rails stickers. I do have more jokes, but we'll move on to the football program, football team. Honoring our seniors will be Coach Nate Johnson.
So obviously I'm not Coach Krivenchuk. He was unable to attend today due to his job, so I'm here. So first person up is John Becker. John has participated in football for 7 years. The thing he'll miss the most about football is the I can't even say it. Being with his teammates, hanging out with them before and after practice, and competing in games. His advice to underclassmen is to enjoy football, pay attention, and have fun. The most influential people to him is his parents. In 5 years, he sees himself in a band touring the world and doing stand-up comedy. John Becker. Next, we have Ian Gillis. Ian has been involved in football for 8 years. What he's going to miss about football is the physicality. His advice to underclassmen is to be more physical than your opponent. The most influential person to him is his dad. And in 5 years, Ian sees himself still in college working on a master's degree. That's Ian Gillis. Next we have Marcus Greeno. Marcus has been playing football for 8 years. he is going to miss winning football games the most. His advice to underclassmen is don't mess up. That's good advice. Most influential person to Marcus is the rapper Chief Keef. And he's in 5 years, he sees himself being in college. And that is Marcus. Next, we have Blake Imhoff. Blake has been playing football for 10 years. What he'll miss most is being able to play and have fun with his teammates every day. His advice for underclassmen is to watch your film and to play hard. Also very good advice. Most influential person for Blake is his dad. And in 5 years, he sees himself finishing college and graduating. That's Blake Imhoff. Next, we have Ben Jeholla. Ben has been playing football for 7 years. He is going to miss the most being out on the field with his teammates every Friday night under the lights. His advice for underclassmen is start lifting now and study your film. Most influential person to Ben is his dad. And in 5 years, Ben sees himself finishing college and starting a career as a software engineer. That's Ben Jeholla. Next, we have Brett Pample. He has been involved in football for 8 years. He's going to miss the most the rail squad competitions. His advice to underclassmen is don't waste the opportunities you get. Most influential person in this sport was Brady Zupek for Brett. And in 5 years, he sees himself in a job with a bachelor's degree in civil engineering. And that's Brett. Next up, we have Carter St Germain. Carter's been playing football for 10 years. What he's going to miss most is being with his teammates every day and Friday night lights. Advice for underclassmen is watch your film and don't skip the weight room. Most influential person to Carter is his dad. And in 5 years, he sees himself finishing college and graduating with a business degree. And that is Carter. Next, we have Quinn Schnabel. Quinn's been playing football for 7 years. The thing he's going to miss most is stepping out on the field under the Friday night lights and playing with his teammates. His advice for underclassmen is to work hard, play smart, and never be afraid to take a chance. Most influential person for him is Coach Kriv. And in 5 years, he sees himself working as a CNA or an RN, and that is Quinn Schnabel. So I want to talk about this group just kind of in general as a group. This has been a really important group for the football team this year, starting with the kind of building a new foundation. They're the leaders, and they're the ones that are showing the team how to do things the right way, all the way down into that youth program. One of the things the program talks about, and Coach Kriv talks about, I would say almost every day, is RIGS, and that's respect, integrity, grit, and stewardship. And those are the values that the program is really trying to model and just show in the community. And these guys are doing that. I know for me, and I think other teachers would say the same thing, we're seeing that not only on the football field, but in our community and in our school. And you guys are setting the stage not only right now, but for in the future for this program. And that's something that's going to be something to remember. As far as the team, we have a big game this Friday against Pine City. I was at the game in the downpour at Aiken on Friday, and yeah, I think it was probably the best I've seen the team play in a while. And score maybe didn't show that, but these guys, led by these seniors, did not give up the entire game. And every game they're getting better, and it's going to be exciting to see them at the end of this season here going into playoffs. So Thanks, guys. I know Coach Kriv wished he could be here, but you get me, which is a poor substitute. So, thanks, guys, and hope to see everybody at the game Friday.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. John Becker. So you want to be a comedian? I got some jokes for you. You know, actually, when I was in high school, the teachers told me I'd never amount to anything because I procrastinate so much, and I told them, you just wait. It's a good one. Come on. They call it a joke grenade. It goes off later, you get it later. Okay. Also, hey, by the way, students, there is a spike hunt going on right now somewhere in Minnesota. Somewhere in Proctor is the Golden Spike, and if you want to win a crisp $50 bill, you go to the Proctor Journal website, proctorjournal.com, and for the clues, there's already a couple clues up there. When you find the spike, bring it to the office for $50.
And yes, staff, I have asked if staff and coaches can be part of this, and we got shot down.
No.
What is that about?
Right.
Why'd you shoot us down?
Because there's one hidden in Minnesota for you, Ted.
Somewhere.
Right.
I'll go start looking today.
Okay, who do we got next? Click it. Let's do it. Swimming, here we go. John Nelson. Coach Nelson, come on up.
All right, first of all, I have Britta Berglund. Britta has been a part of the swim team for 5 years. What she'll miss most is she'll miss seeing her teammates after school, cheering at swim meets, and secretly eating junk food after meets. Britta, what advice would you give your classmen in a sport activity? My advice is to work hard in practice and have a positive attitude. Do all of your flip turns, even if you get water up your nose. Who is your most influential person? Coach John and Susie, our team mascot. And what do you see doing after 5 years? I see myself graduating college and pursuing a career in writing or psychology. Britta is just generally a nice person. She's a silent leader on the team, except for yesterday. She tried to yell, but then she goes, "Love you guys." She comes to practice every day, works really, really hard. She's perfected all aspects of competitive swimming. I just watch her swim, and there's nothing I can do to make her better other than say, go faster. She's very enthusiastic at the meets and swims her heart out at every race. That's Britta. Next is Alana Carlson. Alana's been a part of the swim team for 6 years. What she'll miss most is going to the grocery stores after the away invitationals and the team dinners after our home meets. What advice would you give on the classmen? She would keep your head down and keep your head down in long, hard practices, and it's worth it in the end. Who is your most influential person? Coach John and my older sister, her older sister. What do you see doing after 5 years? I see myself enlisted in the Air Force. If anyone goes by the pool after 4:30 and hears "Dos más," that's Alana notifying the team that there's two more left in our set that we're doing. As one of our team captains, she has really stepped it up this year to be a leader of the team. She's the vocal leader. And many of you also know her as a great trap shooter. She's also one of the best in the area in her event, the 100 breaststroke. And we are hoping for a top 8 finish in the conference in the sections. That's Alana. Next up is Hannah Miller. Hannah Miller has been a part of the team for 4 years. What she'll miss the most is I will miss being threatened with the 500 butterfly when I can only swim 25. What advice would she give the underclassmen? My advice would be to show up at practice every day, even on the days you don't want to, even on the 40-40s day. It'll make you better. Who's your most influential person? Coach John. And what do I see doing after 5 years? I see myself being in high school in either math or English. This is Hannah's comeback season. Hannah's been plagued with bad shoulders over the last few years, but and not being able to work out all the full workouts. But this year, she's gotten stronger, and the shoulders pain has kind of gone away, and she's able to do the whole workouts, and it is showing up. She's already PR'd in all of her events, and is becoming quite the speedy swimmer, and even showing up on our A200 free relay. And she's also the self-proclaimed swim team mom, and is also a really good role model for our younger swimmers. That's Hannah. And lastly, I have Michaela Pearson. Michaela's been a part of the swim team for 5 years. What she'll miss most is, I'll miss being the team's best 100 breaststroke swimmer. Not. My advice would be for the underclassmen is to swim your guts out, no turtle turns, no breaths, no jumping, and listen to Coach John. Who is your most influential person in the sport is Coach John. Thanks, girls. You're awesome. What do you see doing after 5 years? I see myself in graduate school. Michaela's another silent leader on the team. She comes to practice every day and works really hard. The only time I really hear her is when she's having a little spat with Hannah Miller, arguing about something. I find it quite amusing, though. Her strength on the team is her versatility. She can, except for the one event, but her butterfly and backstroke and freestyle is super strong, and she adds much depth to our team. That's Hannah Miller. No, that's not. That's Michaela Pearson. These seniors, along with our 4 from Hermantown, I'm going to have to say, in the few years, I don't know how many, a couple of years coaching, they're one of the very best I have ever coached and been a part of their lives. They're just amazing. They help the younger kids. They're very inspirational and good, just overall really good role models for our younger swimmers. And they're a big part of our success that we're having so far this year. And how's our season going so far, you ask? I'd have to say excellent. We're so far with 3-0 in our dual meets, which includes a win over Duluth East. We won by 3 points. That's the first time Proctor, Hermantown team, has beat Duluth East in the last 22 years. And we also won a strong conference meet against the team from Cloquet. We've also done very well in our invites, placing 3rd, missing 2nd by 1 point at the Spartan Relays. And last weekend, we brought home a 2nd place trophy from the Sordelin invite. However, our early successes hasn't slowed us down. It's just added fuel to the fire. We want to really finish strong for the rest of the season and focus on conference and sections. We have a lot of work left to do. We're only about halfway through our season, where I hear soccer is already going into playoffs soon. We're only about halfway, so we have a lot of work to do. Like I said, our focus is at the end of the season, end of October and beginning of November for our conference and section meet. Right now, we have several swimmers that are on the top of the honor roll for in the area, and we want to get more on there. And again, thank you, seniors, for an amazing season. Tomorrow, let's keep it going. Tomorrow is our last home meet of the season against Two Harbors at 5 o'clock, so please come and cheer on these and support these seniors that are on stage with us. Best of luck to all the other activities, and congrats to all the seniors. Hi, Megan. I remember you swimming. And happy homecoming, everybody.
Okay, in case you don't know where the pool is, it's about 20 feet that way. So if you're wanting to go to the meet tomorrow and you don't know where it is, go to the auditorium, go that way about 20 feet, you'll run right into it. We need to get as many fans there as we can. It's the last home meet, like Coach Nelson said. And I want to thank Coach Nelson. He's been coaching for years. He couldn't remember how many, but I don't want to say. Because if he didn't want to say, I don't want to say. But he's been here a while. So
Well, I can say my wife was his senior captain his first year. We just celebrated 23 years of marriage, so it's been a long time.
Dane, come on up here. I got a question for you. Dane Ullman, everyone. Dane, first of all, what is the dress-up day tomorrow, do you know?
It's neon.
Neon. Neon, yes, that's correct. Good job.
Thank you.
And also, hey, who is the current mascot for the Proctor Rails? It's not the hog, that's a hint.
I think it's my dog, Rowdy.
Your dog?
My dog, my slime.
Is that your name, your dog? Rowdy? Oh my gosh. He's correct though, that is correct. Hey, also, people are complaining about my jokes. Did you know that I entered 10 puns into a contest to see which one won? Guess what? No pun intended. All right, here we go. We got cross country, Coach Harnell. Come on up, Coach.
And you would have me give him a mic, really?
Hello, everyone. I heard that Lakin's not here, and I'll introduce the first cross-country runner, I guess. Our first cross-country runner, I'll just read it because it is going to be on Rails TV shortly. How many years has Lakin been out? She's been out for 5 years. What will she miss? She'll miss the fun meets and bus rides and mostly all of my teammates. Her advice is it can be really hard to keep going, but never walk and always push through. The most influential person in her life are her coaches, Mr. Harnell and Mr. Knight. And in 5 years, she sees herself as a police officer, and that's Lakin Edestead. But I guess she has no picture. Next up, we have Gabe Foucault. Caleb Dobazinski. Oh, maybe I went out of order, sorry. I should put my glasses on. We have Caleb Dobazinski. How many years have you been involved in the sport? 6 years. He's going to miss the long bus rides, sleeping in camp before racing, and hanging out with his friends. His advice is to listen to your coaches and don't eat a six-pack and a pound after running. And his most influential people are Coach Harnell and Coach Knight, and he sees himself in 5 years working in the trades as a plumber, and that's Caleb Dobazinski. And then I think we have a picture of Lakin. Yeah, that's what Lakin looks like. She can't be with us today. And now we're to Gabe, okay? You following? Okay, next up we have Gabe Foucault. Give it up for Gabe. Gabe's been out for the sport for 6 years. He's gonna miss the sound-offs on bus rides home. And his advice is to show up for practice. His most influential person is Hendrick Hicks, if you remember him and that nice flow. He sees himself being a heavy equipment operator in 5 years from now, and that's Gabe Foucault. Next, we have Dan Harnell. Dan has been out for cross-country for 6 years. He's going to miss the sound-offs coming home from meets, and his advice is to just go out and have fun. His most influential person is another former Proctor CC alum, Bryden Kalenda, and he sees himself in 5 years from now working on his psychology degree, and that's Dan Harnell. Next up, we have Isaac Riss. Isaac's been out for cross-country for 4 years. He's going to miss most of the bus rides, and his advice is to practice at home too, not just during practice, but practice on the weekend. And his most influential person in cross country, again, is Hendrick Hicks, 2021 Proctor grad, or 2022, I mean. I see myself hopefully being a chemical engineer, are his plans 5 years from now, and that's Isaac Riss. Next up, we have Isaac Sushariba. I usually call him Sushi. Sush has been out for cross country for 1 year, so this is his first year. What he's really enjoyed about cross country so far is running with everyone and running with groups is so much more fun, and he'll miss Flapjack Fridays. His advice is to run with people faster than you at run fast. My advice is to run with people faster than you at practice, and then run with them at races. Okay, good advice. Most influential person is Mr. Knight. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself as a student at BYU and majoring in human resource management. And he said, oh, thank you, Coach Harnell. Well, maybe he didn't, or maybe that's just what is written here. Well, these are my 5 athletes on the stage, or 6 athletes. A little bit about cross country. It's a different kind of sport. Our sport is the purest, most natural sport there is. We don't chase balls. It's probably the oldest sport in the world. It's natural and pure, and I don't know, these guys put it out and girls put it out every day when the gun goes off. Their goal is to get less playing time. That's different than most sports. Their goal is to get less points also is a goal for a cross-country team. It's kind of individual, but it's a team also because you add up 5 runners to make a team. And these guys, for the most part, have been with me a long time. And so that's a little bit about cross-country. It's very cohesive, the world of cross-country, because you're doing the same thing. And it's a fun sport to coach, because usually you get a lot of really quality, good kids who like to work hard for the most part. Lakin, I just wrote down a word about these kids, and Lakin, who's not here, but hers is improvement. If you would have seen her years ago, she was a back of the packer, but now she's a middle of the packer, which might not say too much, but she's improved by 3 or 4 minutes, which is a chunk of time, and she's probably our most improved athlete this year from years past to now, so I couldn't be proud of her. Word for Gabe, or maybe a couple words, is just hard work. This kid just comes to practice and works super hard, and I teach construction. It might not look like it. I build houses with high school kids, and Gabe has been in my class for a couple years, and I honestly probably haven't had any kid like him as far as work ethic. And it shows in cross country too, and he just is awesome, and a good runner too. I can see him possibly being all conference this year in the world of cross country running. Dan, I wrote down that he's just super nice and super friendly, and he helps other people. He helps his brother out a lot at practice, but he's just nice to be around. He smiles a lot. He's my nephew, so we've been together since his birth, and he's just a great person to have on the team, and a stopwatch just doesn't judge what kind of person he is. We have Dobo. I was trying to think of a few words of about Dobo, and I thought of the word Chewbacca, first of all. He has a lot of facial hair, and since about 8th grade he's had facial hair, so I got mine when I was about 30. He's a Matt Welch lookalike. Matt Welch was a 2012 state champion, but Dobo's outgoing. He's always friendly. He can carry on a conversation with anyone. He runs about a 22-minute 5K. He's just an awesome person to have at practice, and just a great person to have around, and loves to play games and stuff like that, and good personality. Isaac Sushariba. It's his first year out for the sport. I saw him in track, talked to his mom on the phone when we were at North Branch, and he decided to join cross country. He's super talented, and I wrote down a newbie. Like, he's doing it cross country, he's still figuring it out. We have a month left, and he's getting faster every time. I think he possibly could be an all-conference type athlete as well. And then lastly, we have Isaac Riss. He's determined and a goal setter. He's not the fastest kid on the cross-country course, but he sets goals for himself, and he tries to achieve those goals. And I couldn't be prouder for him for sticking with the sport, because a lot of people would have just possibly given up. And these are my seniors. Okay, yeah. As far as our season goes, we lost 12 seniors last year, so we had a lot to kind of figure out this year on the guys' side. The top 2 teams go to state, and I still think that we might have a chance to sneak in that second spot and possibly go to state. Rockridge is pretty much, they're tough. I think they're number 1 ranked in the state, but possibly in the next month, if we improve, we can maybe pull off an upset, so that's one of our goals, I think. But and I hope to improve on the guys' side. The girls' side, we haven't quite figured it out yet. We have a bunch of girls that are kind of injured and sick, let's just say. We have the same team as last year, and we're going to figure it out in the next month and hopefully make a run for state there. We have a couple local meets coming up. We've been on the far edge of the earth for the month of September, but we have the LSC meet at Grandview coming up in a few weeks, and then we have the Proctor Lions meet coming up on the 18th. So try to come out and support the Rails cross country team. And good luck to all the seniors that are up here, and thanks for participating in your sports. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harnell. Come on up, both of you guys. Jackson Carlson, Jason Nolan, everyone. Yay, good job. Okay, so you're playing for a sticker here, okay? So first question is, do you know who the football team plays on Friday?
Pine City.
Oh, Pine City, you got it right. All right, Pine City Dragons. All right, and let's see, what else? What's happening after the game on Friday?
The homecoming dance.
Yes, good job, all right. Hey, fire up, 2 stickers given out. No jokes this time, all right. Next up, we have Miss Lois O'Leary recognizing our drama seniors. Tim.
Good morning, everybody. Let me start off by saying a little bit first about our drama program. We do 4 shows a year. We do 3 shows with the high school, and my high school students mentor the middle school show at the end of the school year. They work very, very hard. These 3 seniors have been with me from 3 to 5 years. Our first one is Piper Allen. Yeah, give it up for him. How many years have you participated in your sport or activity? I've been involved in drama for 5 years. What will you miss the most about participating in this sport or activity? I will miss the stories and memories we've made backstage, and me telling them that I can hear them in the audience. What advice would you give underclassmen who are in this sport? My advice is to have fun and find a long Disney playlist. If you've ever been around for in between one of the shows waiting to start, you hear a lot of Disney. Who is the most influential person for you during this sport or activity? The most influential people are everyone in the theater club. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself hopefully living with my partner and working at Holiday. I know it'll be more than that. Our next student, give a hand. Our next student is Juan Lance. most about participating in this sport or activity? I will miss the Guthrie trips and the Secret Santa. What advice would you give underclassmen? My advice is to be yourself and step out of your comfort zone, which Juan has done, and I'm so proud of him. Who was your most influential person? Was Miss Susie Hartwick, which we miss. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself as a teacher's aide and eventually a teacher in my own classroom. And my last student is Miss Cecilia Parmeter. How many years have you participated in this sport? I'm happy to say that she's been with me for 5 years. What will you miss the most about participating in your sport? I will miss goofing off with the musical. What advice would you give underclassmen who are in this sport? My advice is go big and go bigger, which she has done. Who is the most influential person? The most influential person is Devaney Wida. She was one of our former theater students who graduated last year. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself having graduated from culinary school and owning what were you going to own? It's not on here. Restaurant. Okay, because I couldn't decide whether a bakery or restaurant, because this girl makes the best cinnamon sugar cookies that I've ever tasted. Right? She gives us food every once in a while that she's made to share with us in rehearsal. Mr. Harnell, I think your sport and my sport were the original sports in the world, because theater and cross-country sort of happened at the same time. I want to say a little bit of something about all of these students. They have worked so hard and so long for so many years, building set, being backstage, helping with costume, doing makeup, doing hair, doing lights, doing sound, being on stage in characters. During COVID, we were actually able to get a musical done with distance, with understanding, with masks, with temperatures, with hand sanitizer, with all of that, and they still performed. On November 4th, we will be doing our fall production. All 3 of these kids have roles in it. They come out and they work their hearts out to put on a play that you're not seeing them up there, you're seeing the characters that they've built. So I'm asking that, along with everybody here, all these students, to go out and support them and celebrate them, to come out and fill the auditorium on November 4th for the opening of Curious Savage, about an old elderly woman who's put in a sanitarium by her children because they're afraid she's going to give up their money, and she's changed the money into bonds and placed them in her teddy bear that she carries. It's a hoot. It's really fun. Now, how many have liked Mr. Roweeder's jokes today? Woo! Okay, sort of half yes, half. Well, Mr. Roweeder has agreed to be a role in our show this November. But it's a perfect role for him. Yes, give him a hand. He's done it before. This is the perfect role for him and for the audience, because he's going to be in a wheelchair pushed around the set and he doesn't have any lines. So come out and celebrate our theater kids along with all the other seniors that are up here. Piper, Juan, Cece.
Thank you, Ms. O'Leary, for taking the time. Thank you to the drama seniors. What's that?
I can hear you.
They can hear me. Just because you need to turn your ears up doesn't mean everybody else can't hear me. And yeah, that would be a great, can we get that roll form on a daily basis, Mr. Jutland? I got a new knee, you know. Yeah, you know, got to protect that knee. So I wanted to try a dad joke to just see if I could get a better laugh than you do, Mr. Reuter. And that's, when does a joke become a dad joke? Exactly, when it becomes a parrot. That's funny, I don't care what you say.
Challenge accepted. All right. So, there's some talk about CC's cookies. You know, I was told, you know, Mr. Keefe and I were talking about, you know, shedding some pounds, and so I went to the fitness center, talked to Mr. Rattleoff in there, and he said I should start with lunges, because that would be a big step forward.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
All right, here we go.
You're right.
Volleyball.
Whoa.
Miss Coach Beth Jeholla, come on up. Trish Jeholla, Beth. Beth's teaching here now.
All right, we'll get started. First, we have Hope Carlson. Hope has...
You go, Hope.
Hope has been involved in volleyball for 3 years. What she will miss the most is the big rallies with her teammates, making good plays, and hearing everyone go wild. Also, home games with the fans and the band. The advice she would give underclassmen is to take the time to evolve your game and be the best you can be, commit to your sport, and always have a winning attitude. The most influential person in her sport is Gabby Jeholla. And what do you see yourself doing in 5 years? She sees herself traveling and being successful, a successful businesswoman. Hope Carlson. Next is Paige Chapey. She has participated in volleyball for 6 years, 2 years as a manager. She's going to miss all the relationships she has made with the girls and the coaches, and she will also miss doing book and libero tracker with Jaden. The advice she would give to the underclassmen is to respect everyone around you and build as many relationships with your teammates as you can. Her most influential person is her family and friends, and in 5 years she sees herself working as an interior designer. Paige Chapey. Next is Kylie Ajardi. She has been involved with volleyball for 6 years, and what she will miss is being part of the community and with a common goal and friendships that she has made over the years. The advice to underclassmen is to not quit. Anything you enjoy is worth fighting for, and eventually you'll get to where you want to be. The most influential person in Kylia's life is the coaches, both past and present. And in 5 years, she sees herself helping with behavioral and psychological setbacks. Kylie Ajardi. Jaden Lalonde is next, and Jaden has been involved with volleyball for 8 years, 2 years as a manager. She's going to miss all the relationships that she has built with her team and coaches, and she will especially miss doing book with Paige and cheering on with her best friends. Her advice to underclassmen is to respect those around you and build positive relationships with her team and coaches. And the most influential people in her life are her family and friends. And in 5 years, she sees herself as working as a respiratory therapist at St. Luke's Hospital. Jaden Lalonde. And last we have Madison or Maddie Walsh. Maddie has been involved in volleyball for about 6 years. She will miss home games and the pregame rituals with the team. Her advice is to enjoy every moment and push yourself to be the best you can be. The most influential person for volleyball is Kirsten, or what we call her is Kirk Walker. In 5 years, she sees herself getting her bachelor's degree and going on to attend medical school. Maddie. So for volleyball, we are halfway through our season, which has had its ups and downs, but I'm pleased to say that the atmosphere has been positive, and I attribute that to these amazing 5 seniors who have led the way. Maddie has been a pillar of strength for this team and really is the person everyone relies on. This is not even her primary sport, but she is focused and comes to work hard every day. It was during the Duluth East game, I believe, where, in my opinion, she put the team on her back and battled when her team needed it the most. She has a strength about her which makes her successful, and I am excited to see what her future holds as she is committed to UMD for softball. Hope Carlson started volleyball late, but you wouldn't be able to tell at all. She is the definition of an athlete by the time and dedication she put in to make herself the player that she is today. I remember the determination one practice she had to learn how to serve a ball. And I kid you not, she sat there for probably a half hour to 45 minutes serving straight, to the point where the coaches were worried her arm was going to fall off. But her practice has paid off, and she is so athletic and skilled to read the ball to get that block and read the court to get that kill, and has really become the force to be reckoned with, enough that other teams fear her. Kylie, since 7th grade, has had such a spirit of fierce determination and holds herself to such a high standard. She works very hard. She works very hard, and in the past would get so frustrated with herself that I would have to remind her to be like a goldfish who has a memory span of about 10 seconds. Kylie is a lot more forgiving of herself this season and has gained great confidence to take initiative in the back row as our defensive specialist. Her maturity in her passing this year has been recognized by everyone, and I am so proud of the player she has become. Paige is so quiet, but has been so dependable as our manager these past 2 years. She is always there to do whatever I ask, such as keeping the official scorebook, libero tracking, or laundry, which is no small task. And she does it all with a smile on her face constantly. Jaden also has been our manager for the last 2 years and has been just as reliable and dependable as Paige, with the same tasks I ask of her. Her and Paige go side by side and completely complement and support each other. There are never any complaints from the two, at least not directly to me. I really don't think people realize how much these two take care of, and which makes my job as a coach a lot easier. They have also been training our newer managers to take over the next year, which I completely appreciate because I couldn't do their job better. Our season this year, we are split evenly with about 10 wins and 10 losses. The record, however, doesn't look super impressive, but it only shows our wins and losses and not the battles fought within. We play a lot of schools bigger than us and have fought point for point, which isn't reflected in our record. It is frustrating at times to lose games we shouldn't have, but we will continue to gain consistency and confidence and battle one game at a time, 1 point at a time. This team and these girls will learn to believe in themselves as much as we, the coaches, believe in them. And in the end, we will finish this season with no regrets. If you haven't had the opportunity to come watch Proctor Girls Volleyball, we have a total of 3 home games left, one this Thursday against Superior, Monday, October 10th versus Mesabi East, and Tuesday, October 18th, which is senior night, versus Duluth Denfeld. I encourage all of you to come cheer on this Proctor Girls Volleyball team, and I guarantee you will not be disappointed. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Trish Jeholla. Beth Jeholla is a teacher in our middle school, so sorry. All right, let's see. You got anything back there, Mr. Keevan?
No, I was waiting for you to bust out another joke to make us all laugh.
I'm all out. All right, so we have one last group to recognize, and this group is extremely important to us in our school, making sure that our crowd is into the game and there's a lot of spirit in our events. So I'll call up Coach Peterson to talk about our senior cheer team members.
Good morning. First up, we have Madison Johnson. How many years have you participated in cheerleading? Maddie has been involved in cheerleading for 2 years. What will you miss the most about participating in cheer? I will miss hanging out with my team before the games. What advice would you give underclassmen who are in this sport or activity? My advice is to practice every day and enjoy it while you can. Who is the most influential person for you during this sport? My most influential person is my sister, Caitlin. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years?
I see myself having a nursing job and becoming an EMT. That's Maddie. Next up, we have Ava Mccarty. How many years have you been involved in cheerleading? She has been involved in cheerleading for 6 years. What will you miss most about participating in this sport? I will miss the school spirit and my jumps, because my jumps are something I'm super proud of, as you should be. What advice would you give underclassmen who are in this sport or activity? My advice is to always smile and be loud and make all the difference in the world. Who is the most influential person for you during this sport? The most influential person is her former teammate, Gabby Butler. What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? I see myself being a pediatric nurse in a hospital in Colorado. And that's Ava. Super proud to coach this group of young ladies. Their devotion to their sport and their classmates and to this community is super inspiring. I feel that they have led you all very well, and I'm really proud to stand up here and represent them as well. Maddie, thanks for being our rock. Your dedication is unmatched. I'm so proud of how you have grown through this program, and I'm going to miss you so much next year. Ava, I'm beyond grateful your family moved here. If you don't know, this is Arizona. I can't even imagine this team without you. Thank you for being a guide, a leader on this team, and I'm so proud of who you are. Thank you for always being on point. So if you ever want to come check out the cheer team, we literally are everywhere. So come to boys soccer, girls soccer, swimming, football, hockey, boys basketball, girls basketball, wrestling, which is like the coolest thing to cheer for. What did I miss? Oh, volleyball, good God, volleyball. So we are everywhere, and this is not just the Proctor football cheer team or the Proctor hockey cheer. They are your cheer team, and they support all of you, including Knowledge Bowl and Math League and everything else. So we're really proud to be Proctor cheerleaders. So thank you.
All right, here we go. Thank you, Coach Peterson. At this time, we're going to be recognizing our fall homecoming king and queen candidates. Could the candidates please meet in the hallway outside the auditorium up there at this time? Thank you.
You're welcome.
So while they're getting back there and getting organized, a couple things I wanted to recognize. Let's see, he's not here anymore. But we have a couple special people in the audience here. With COVID, with sicknesses and things like that, we have teachers that are out every once in a while, so we have guest teachers come in for us and stand in. So if we have any substitute guest teachers in the crowd, please stand up or give a wave. Stand up, come on. Let's give them a hand. Thank you very much for coming. All right, also, I want to give a shout out real quick to Cece Parmeter. I know this summer she spent a lot of time here getting props and sets ready for the upcoming play, and spent a lot of time, so thank you, Cece, for doing that. And I want to thank Ted Keefe, because Rails TV, broadcasting this event, a lot of different events, and he puts a lot of time and effort in to making sure that everybody can enjoy events wherever they are on YouTube. And so thanks, Mr. Keefe, great job.
You are quite welcome.
And last but not least, parents. You are so important to our students and their growth and their development and their ability to get to games and practices and all the different hours and things that you've spent. And so senior year is important, and I'm sure for you, it's a culmination of many years watching them grow in their sport and their activity. So thank you so much for all the support you've given over the years. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, we ready, Mrs. Vans? Okay, here we go. So here are your King and Queen candidates. By the way, we had about 420 students cast a vote for King and Queen, which is great. So, first and foremost, Elena Abernathy, escorted by Blake Imhoff. Next up, we have Hope Carlson, escorted by Juan Lance. Next, we have Pedro Cook, escorted by Wes Lindstrom. Next, we have Abigail Hansen, escorted by Braden Mealy. And finally, we have Maddie Walsh, escorted by Josh Monreal. So we're going to start with the king first. Mr. Keefe will do the pleasure. Guys, if you could step forward a little without falling off the stage, that'd be great.
This is for me, right?
Yes. No. Wait. This one.
Your 2022 homecoming queen, Hope Carlson.
So your 2022 fall homecoming king and queen, Hope Carlson, Blake Imhoff. Let's give them a round of applause. Congratulations to all the court candidates, and congratulations seniors. Thank you for your leadership, thank you for your commitment, and go Whales, head to third hour. Woo-hoo!
I'll just come on.
sound right.
No, I'm like,
I'm up there going, really? Really?
I'm like, really, that's 12 here, come on.
Wow. I'm getting old. We're getting old.
What time is it?
Sorry about that.
You want this over there?
Yeah. Please.
I don't pick you up. Oh my gosh.